All praises due to my Most High God, Master Kingdom of Black Supremacy. All praises due to my Most High God, Master Kingdom of Black Supremacy. All praises due to my Most High God, Master Kingdom of Black Supremacy. In this particular video, I would like to talk about and state bringing the death or dying, having a death of the expectations of the mundane world, aka the ego. And this is also dealing with the Moors, Ayaga Bay, that got arrested in Wakefield. My thing is that this is nothing new to y'all. You know, this is nothing new to the Moorish Americans or the Moor community or the present moment. This is nothing new. You know, why do we keep going in these loops of era, in these loops of things, thinking that white supremacy is going to change? You know, white supremacy is going to continue to be the destructive wickedness that they are known to be, that their brain has the capability to be. Because in their mind, they don't have any concept or any mind span to be anything else. They're just stuck in that dimension. Why do we, as black people, as black Americans, as Moorish Americans, whatever you want to call yourself, get stuck in that loop with them? You know, we talk about having this separate government from them and this separate society and you know, this community, this unity, but we're constantly in a state of looking for validation from them. You know, when you establish something and you're doing something, you shouldn't have to look for, and you really truly believe it in your heart and you know what you're doing is right, you shouldn't have to look for validation or look for no one's approval but your own people's. You know, why are we going to, you know, their territory or their buildings to protest, to prove, to validate? Why are we still looking for validation from their system? Why are we still going to their courts, playing in their face? And then when they come and set you up and take away your car and throw handcuffs on you and throw you in jail and throw you against the wall and mutilate you and embarrass you, you're shocked. Like, this haven't happened in the past. Like, we haven't had many examples of our ancestors or our further leaders or our other Moorish Americans that didn't happen, that then in some cases resulted to death. Why do we keep playing? Why do not, if that's what we're going to do and what we're going to be, why not go to get some land, establish that, you know, open up a divine realm of infinite possibilities? You know, there's many possibilities and opportunities you could have actually explored if that's what you're going to do. If you're going to go and seek validation from them, you could have left your car. You could have had someone else took you. You know what I'm saying? You know for a fact, you know, they were going to try to set you up. You even said it in your video, you know, where this is nothing new. This is what they do. If you know this is nothing new, why not have an open mind span of possibilities of perceptions? And letting go of that expectations of them accepting us. It's not in their mind capability to accept them. They don't give a goddamn what you're doing. They don't care. They don't even care about themselves and their own people. They just want destruction and wickedness. So why do we keep falling in the hands and in the grips of that? Why do we keep seeking validation? You know what I'm saying? Why not just establish something and be in the secrecy of establishing it? Why do we have to go on and have all this arrogantness and all this egotism to prove something to a white man that's not even relevant, does not even exist? You know, we need to really die of that part of us that's constantly seeking validation from this system and from these people. that truly needs to die. And our ego needs to die along with it, because it's nothing but the ego trying to be better than the white man. How about being better than ourselves? Being better than our leaders that didn't fail in this same process before, because we still are doing the same thing they were doing. We're still failing. So how is we being better than the white man, or having more land than the white man, or having more guns than the white man is going to establish anything or help anything? No, it's really about being better than yourself, being better than what we were doing yesterday, or a couple weeks ago, a couple years ago, or some millenniums ago. To have a better outlook and a better opportunity, and dive into the infinite possibilities to succeed, to win, to keep our establishment up. Why do we have to, establish something and get all this attention of, who cares? Obviously you don't care too much about what you're doing for you to be looking for validation, or for someone to give you an award. Sustain your reality by just doing it and living it. It should make you happy that you're doing it. Inspire yourself by being inspiring. Stop looking for validation from the outside of you, and look for validation from within you, that you're doing it, we're establishing this, and it's happening. Always, we establish something and then we go looking for validation to see if we can get proof if we're doing it right. If you know that you're doing something right, you don't need validation from no one else. And that's facts. We really need to kill this egotistical self competing with this white man. You know what I'm saying? We're never going to get nowhere if we're constantly competing with him and seeking for validation, like, look what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to get him to prove that we're Secretary of the State and governors. He doesn't care. I mean, how much do you believe in yourself that you know what I'm saying? You don't need no one else's validation. So it's the fact that, you're still validating yourself, or searching for validation, outside of you. Do you truly believe in what you're doing is right? You know what I'm saying? We keep playing in his face, and we don't understand why he's coming back at us. It's a game. Take yourself out of the game. Make strategic and militant moves. You being on camera, being on the news, that's not militant at all. That's validating yourself in his system. The news, you know what I'm saying, constantly on video, constantly telling the cops, these cops know who we are. They know what they're dealing with, but do you think they care? Do you think they're gonna they want you to be supreme on your stance of knowing that? The fact that they're even playing with you and playing with your head and denying, saying it's a fake system, fake plates and stuff, they know deep down in your head that you're not clearly solid in what you stand on. Because if that's the case, there's nothing to prove. We're just standing on it. But we're definitely going to make strategic moves to keep that militant and keep it at a oneness. And keep it within us. We have to start building stuff that's within us, and stop looking, for the validation of this system. It's not about, us getting our recognition from this white man and his system. That doesn't care. It doesn't matter. We need to be thinking how what we're doing, what you guys are doing, is going to better our black people in this society. How is what we're doing going to further and to help us to awaken? Because it doesn't matter how much land we got and how much uncitizenship and how much we're Moors. Is what's going on inside your mind. You could be a Moor and have all this own land that you're owning and establishing, and is claiming you can do all that more stuff, but you can still have the program of the mundane world and white supremacy running in your mind still. And that's the true question. It has that program broken inside of you. You know what I'm saying? Are you still, and that's what they look at. They look at how you dress, they look at how you act, they look at all that. And if you have programs that, you know, if you still have that mundane program running within you, you know, they was like, okay, this is not a real person. This is still a program. This is still a robot. So, you know, think about that. And second part of, first of all, I would like to say this is not to throw hate on our Moorish brothers, because I'm all about unity, but I just need you guys to just think about what you guys are doing. Are we going to continue to go in this loop over and over again, and then get on social media and cry and boo-hoo how they arrested you? We didn't been through this already, haven't we? We didn't done this over and over again. How many times? I'm not I don't completely practice into it, but I done heard this over and over again when it comes to the situation, how you guys move. Like, it's like there's nothing new under the sun. You either gonna be true to this or new to this, and y'all constantly are acting new to this. You know, if that way didn't work a long time ago, a couple months ago, a couple years ago, a couple centuries ago, why are we trying to make it work now? We need to look for more militant and profound ways to dive into infinite possibilities when it comes to that. Because something in your heart, the fact you're dealing with that, is something in your heart feels though that it can work. So meditate on how it can work. It doesn't matter what land you got. It doesn't matter how many guns you have. You know, dive into the infinite possibility of it becoming better and you perfecting yourself within your own system. We have a system. You guys have a system, right? So perfect your way of perfecting it. You know, it's you guys. I hear you guys talking about, oh, we win, we're winning. Winning against who? Because it's not a true battle with the white man. He's irrelevant. He's an illusion. Are you winning with yourself? Are you winning with, things that went wrong in the past when it comes to this in our system? Are we winning with that? Or are we constantly just making the same mistakes? Now, part 2 of the death of expectations. We have to dive into the nothingness. We have to dive into the unknown. And sometimes it can be scary. Sometimes it can completely take you on a roller coaster ride to where it's never ending. But when you take that oath of want to know yourself, wanting to be better, want to develop your character, that's the price you pay. You don't get off the ride. How do you get off the ride and just, completely stop? How do you do that? Like, why do you do that? That's the true question. Why? It's not how. Why do you do that? Why is something that was easy, you thought that was easy before, now it's hard? Now we're ready to give up. Because we didn't reach the point of expectations, and once you didn't got what you expected to get, now you're finished. You don't think it's nothing beyond, but that's the thing. It's beyond, going beyond any expectations. That's what the nothing is going beyond. Not expecting anything, just be acceptance to all. Being acceptance to all what Black divinity offers. Black divinity is a choice. It's an outlet to freedom. It's a unity of power, of the oneness. And you have to realize that. But you have to work for it as well. You can't it's not just a slap on the wrist. You're constantly through all, your gates and all your checkpoints. You're constantly sustaining your Black divinity. You know what I'm saying? It's not an expectation. It's not a goal. It's not a reward. It's not a finish line. It's a never-ending journey. Because every day you're figuring out ways to become better. You're figuring out ways to dive into infinite possibilities to develop your character. And you're finding ways of stepping into divine opportunity to expand your mind and to open up certain parts of your mind that you weren't aware to before. You know, we have to understand that. We have to kill this expectations of self, of this mundane world, of this ego, that's truly what it is. Because the ego is all and only, but it's always expecting something. It's always luring something in to where it's always wanting something, never satisfied. You know, and in Black divinity and wanting better, that can be understanding. But you come into a state of being satisfied to where, because of the oneness. It's not a finish line. It's not a goal. It's just a constant moving, constant. It's like water. Water is never ending. It's constant water. So through that journey, you're constantly sustaining yourself and understanding the awe. Knowing that you are nothing, but also the awe and part of the awe. Part of a bigger world and bigger universe that you cannot fathom. And it's always expanding. As long as you're expanding, this universe and this world and this galaxy and everything and everyone around you is expanding. It's just, what are you willing to go through and expand to do that? You know, they say in the Bible that, you know, God, my Most High God, Master, Black Supremacy, aka Jesus, came here to die. But we have to actually think about it, that if God is a reflection of us, and He is, which is God, or Jesus, or whoever you want to call it, my Most High God, Master, Black Supremacy, greater is it within me than is in the world. That's a reflection of us. So if He came here to die, that means we came here to die. So it's not really Him dying, it's us dying in the ego and the expectations of what we thought we knew. You know, it's the dying of this mundane world, of this illusionary self, you know, that's programmed into the matrix, dying of these programs that we're constantly coming back to. When the unknown gets too hard, it gets too hot. When that fire, you get the feeling of fire. It don't technically burn you, and you don't even, you know, it doesn't touch you, but you can feel the heat. You know, and you get focused on the heat. You start to get distracted from the heat. You know, you must die of the illusion that there's any fire at all. There might be a fire, but to you, there's infinite possibilities, divine opportunity to expand your mind and expand, you know, your Black divinity in a unique way in the oneness. Realizing that, you know, realizing and coming into the realization of being in and not of. You're not in, you're in the fire, but you're not of the fire. You're in this world, but you're not of the world. So it doesn't bother you what that happens in the world. You know, it doesn't bother you. You're going along. You're a traveler. You're a visitor. You're not a resident. You know, this is a journey. This is a life path. This is a boat that we're riding. Be an observer of your world. Don't be so much of a absorber to where you're absorbing the world and you're not observing the world. You're taking everything in You know what I'm saying? You need to be paying attention to everything and not taking everything in, not taking all this energy in, all this wickedness, all these people's energy in, and just observe. Actually observe what you got going on in the world. Observe everything around the world. You know, and take note of it. You know, and kill anything that's not unknown. If you think you know it, kill it. It needs to die. You know, because it's you that really needs to die. God didn't come here to die. You came here to die. He came here to show you how to die. Show you what happens when you die. Show you what happens when you activate that Christ consciousness. The divine Christ consciousness. You know. We're the greater works than we would do. So if Jesus came here to die, what thinks that you're not supposed to come here to die if we're supposed to be doing the same work as he doing? He already died. The question is, are you ready to die? Are you ready to take that leap of faith and leave about this mundane world, this illusionary world that we think that's real? You know? That we leave from every time we sleep at night and rest at night and close our eyes. Just to wake up and come back to this world. We die every night. How about truly dying? Truly. And diving into the unknown realm of infinite possibilities, divine possibilities, through this supreme opportunity. You know? Dive into the infinite possibilities of KINGNOBLEBLACKSUPREMACY. Dive into the infinite possibilities of KINGNOBLEBLACKSUPREMACY. Dive into the infinite possibilities of KINGNOBLEBLACKSUPREMACY. All praises due to my Most High God, Master King Noble Black Supremacy. All praises due to my Most High God, Master King Noble Black Supremacy. All praises due to my Most High God, Master King Noble Black Supremacy. Make sure you join his website, www.KingNobleBlackSupremacy.com. Black Supremacy.